I have just deleted a 5-year-old video. It was the part 1 to my Dolmens series. I've deleted it because of the scraping and tapping on the screen that I used to do when I recorded the screen using the metal implement. I have now taken out the best sections from that video because of the images that I don't have anymore, and you can't find them on Google, or they've got watermarks all over them. So there are still portions of the video where there's tapping, but it's just too important to keep this video for prosperity. It was this structure that shows you inside. If you look there, there's actually a hole there, a complete circle where a wooden beam was, yeah, which I will show you shortly. You can just see the remnant of one there, yeah, and there. These roofs may have actually been, shaped like a triangle, yeah, but they've just dried up and collapsed and then turned to mudstone over time. This was the main image of the video, wasn't it? And you can see how this is built, exactly how they build them today, and it's turned into mud rock. And up here again, you get all those holes, and these holes just do not belong here. If this was a big piece of rock somehow lifted up and over on here, it is mindless garbage that I want you to think long and hard about, and consider the evidence that I am presenting to you, right? This next image, right, that's obviously well, that's the area that we've just been looking at there, and this is the back beam here, and you can see can you see that cross beam there, right? Because it will go like that and like that. You can just see the lump going down there, so there will be two long ones like that, and then ones on the edge, and then all this is filled in with mud. It's mud rock and thatch roof, grass, twigs and wood, okay? This one is the one I showed you just before those two images, one where it goes like that. But up here, I'll show you some images after this album here that I will just run through. Up here you can see the remnant, because it's all turned to rock, right, of a wooden beam there, one there, one there and one there, and you've got, it's like it goes like that, right? So you've got wood, you go like that, a wooden beam on the top of, yeah, just like I've just shown you. Smear clay over this and mud, and over time it would turn to exactly the same thing, I guarantee you. This one has obviously collapsed, because these aren't carved from some huge boulder, are they? You wouldn't do that. You would build a structure, wouldn't you? You're in the middle of a forest. You get the lines. It's just bulged out and turned to rock. That one is another one that's collapsed. It will have collapsed long before this roof turned to hard stone, turned to mud rock, right? It collapsed long before that. Down here, you see that rim there, you got a rim running down there. Yeah, that is part of the structure, the wood. Okay? And all this is just decades of build up and build up. They've been making this a warmer, more secure structure. Okay, take a good look at that surface there. In fact, look at that. You know how these things are built? I've just been showing you. Thatch roof, all turned to mud rock. You see something such as that, you can see that that is not natural, right? That has got a smothering over it, and it's clay and mud, right? In fact, they're actually built from wood. It just turns into rock. It's like a mud rock. You see all these holes in here. There's actually layer and layer and layer, and you get holes because they're all thatched roof, grass and straw and wood, and they smear mud over them time and time again. This one has obviously been underwater, and this is on top of a hill. You're looking out there, you can see sky. So this was in some flood, and it's been calcified like things do I've showed you on inside of caves, right? And why it's turned into rock. So that again, there's nothing magical going on here, right? Because, you know, they give you the Stone Age man thing, don't they? But somehow they were able to get these 20-40 ton roofs opened over on these things, right? And risk living inside them with no real supports and have all the family crushed inside. But when you actually inspect them, again, you can see little holes, right, from decades and decades of thatch roofing and smearing mud and clay over. I'll show you some rocks at the end. That is actually slate, yeah, because, you know, slate is in fact mud rock, right? Can you see those lines down there? Right, because this is obviously a smothering. That's why it's falling off in chunks. That is actually part of the structure, you know. It's a beam, a wooden log. There will be one in here and one in here and one in here, right? And it's broken away. That's the area that I've just shown you. You can see it's got layers over it. This again, it's layer over layer over layer. This is mainly like clay. Have a look at that area there. Yeah, it's all thatch, just grass and twigs and mud and clay. All of it is. This stuff is very important in image, this one and the next one. Again, it's like when you smear adhesive down when you're putting floor tiles down, and then you stick something over the surface. You can see down here, layer on layer on layer on layer, because it's mud rock, right? It's just the same as slate. That's what slate is. Slate is mud rock, right? You can see a wooden beam there. Yeah, you see that line that runs down there? It will have had an inner structure made from wooden beams in a crisscross fashion. Then they will have smeared mud over it, right? Well, again, inspect these images on my Google page. This one is a different one. The top layer of this has fallen away, revealing how they built this stuff up, right? When they were inside, do you think they were plugging those holes up with rock, or would they have been doing it with wood, which has since calcified and turned into stone? I want you to think long and hard about that. Were they in here dragging this huge piece of rock to block this hole up, or would they have been using wood, which would have, you know, bent and got jammed and locked into this thing and kept the cold out? But you can see the lines on this thing, yeah, because it's a thatched roof, it's mud rock. There's another one that's since turned to stone. Yeah, that's obvious. This one is an important image because as this one got put in, over time it's calcified and actually become part of the wall, just like this. you can see that this was a frame around here. Look, see that frame around there, and where you can see a hole there, and the frame of this actually runs through there, joint, but there's a hole there. So this indeed was a wooden frame that has been filled in with, you know, wood chip board or something like that. What do you think that is made of? It's not a rock cut structure, it's built from wood. Look at it. It's just rotting away and turning to mush from it being buried in clay. And as I've been digging this thing out, there's another structure inside here that's buried, so it's not a rock cut structure, full stop. Well, if you like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to help the channel moving forward, you can press on the link in a pinned comment, which will be in every video from now on. Thank you.